sellers, it's Suzanne, and in this video I want to talk to you about a vintage Bolo granny square Afghans. You may not be aware these are a high profit item and to be on the lookout for them. So here's what it looks like. The black ones are highly sought after because it's the exact same throw blanket that is on Roseanne's couch. Also, it has a rich history on the show Dark Shadows from the 70s. There was a black granny square Afghan that was often in the background. So this is just a vintage item people like. Now, a few things you might be wondering about. These are handmade, so there won't be a content tag on the item with the contents, whether it's cotton, wool, acrylic, whatever. And you can find that out by doing a burn test. Now, the one I found has fringe on it. So what I did was just cut a couple of strings off the fringe and did a burn test. If it's wool, it will burn like human hair and it will smell like hair burning. If you don't know what that smells like, pull out a couple of hairs and burn those and then compare the smells. If it's not wool, if it is a synthetic like acrylic, which a lot of them are because that's much softer than wool, it will smell like burned plastic and it will shrivel up and just break apart. So you can tell the difference between the fabrics based on a burn test. Just a side note on the material, wool is not necessarily going to sell for more than acrylic. It's just based on what the buyer wants. Wool yarn is more expensive, but some people don't want wool because it's too heavy and it's itchy. And acrylic is more comfortable to snuggle up with, if you are in a climate that doesn't get super cold, or if you're just a hot-natured person, you might not want wool. So it's just a matter of knowing what you have so you can put that information in your listing and the buyer will know what they're getting. So a burn test can give you that information. Also, in the premium library, I have a 15-minute video that goes through all different kinds of fabrics and burn tests if you don't want to figure that out on your own, because that is one of the issues when selling vintage items or handmade items is you don't really know what it's made of because there's no content tag to tell you. So you can give it your best estimation and do a burn test and then put that in your listing and say, based on our burn test, we believe this fabric is blank, whatever your conclusion is. So just be aware that is there for you if you want to check that out. Another thing you might wonder about is how to wash it. And if it's vintage and very old, you do not want to put it in the washing machine because it's going to disintegrate. So this is another case for using Dryel or Woolite or whatever at-home dry cleaning kit you want to use, and use the lowest heat on the dryer because you don't want to damage it. You don't want to be too rough with it. You don't want it to come apart. In the store, before you buy it, you want to look it over really well because there's already holes in it because of the way it's stitched. But there can be places where it's come apart or it is damaged, and that's okay. If you are handy with a needle and thread, you can quickly repair that, or you can sell it as is, and somebody who is a better seamstress can make those repairs when they get it. I have sold these damaged and they sell perfectly fine. Now, some thrift stores are onto these. Goodwill sometimes has them priced at $20, but the smaller church thrift stores or the mission thrift stores, independently owned, they really aren't onto it. It all depends on who is evaluating the donations that come in. I found one at an independently owned thrift store recently for $6. Great condition, no problems, and I have it listed for $84.97. It is a big one. It's 66 by 58. So obviously the bigger it is, the higher price you're going to get. On these, I suggest you refer to Terapeak and go back 365 days and look for the one that's the same size as what you're selling, because that makes a huge difference in how to price it. So this is just another bolo. These are easy to spot because they're so colorful and recognizable in the thrift store. And please tell me if you like this format. I love vintage items. There are so many of them out there, and the more you know, the more money you're going to make. And vintage items are only going to get more valuable because they're going to be getting older and they're not being made anymore. And I really feel like on social media, the eBay influencers focus so much on how much you can do and how fast you can do it to make money on eBay, and it just really doesn't have to be that way. I love this business. I love the hunt. I love picking. I love learning about new things, and it's just absolutely endless. And another part I really like is the recycling aspect, keeping things out of the landfill, rehoming items, sending an item to a buyer that just loves it. They've been looking for this. They used to have one of these. I'm really feeling an intuitive push to change direction and focus more on vintage items that just pop up in front of us all the time at thrift stores. Money Making Mondays, that is proof that these things are out there and people are finding them. So please give me your feedback on this video if you like this format, and I will do more of them. So I hope that helps you out. Have you found any of these, and did you know this? Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Have a profitable and productive day on eBay. Bye.